Welcome to the National Library of Jamaica's celebration of World Book and Copyright Day 2021 under the theme, Read So You Never Feel Alone. Jamaican authors at home and in the diaspora are celebrating with us by reading from their books, which they have compiled and deposited at the National Library of Jamaica in an effort to keep building our heritage and history. To begin, we will hear remarks from the Honorable Olivia Grange, CD, MP, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, followed by Dr. Saadia Sanchez-Vegas, Director of the UNESCO Cluster Office for the Caribbean.
We spend a lot of time reading from screens these days, but there's just something special about picking up a book, turning the pages, and entering a world curated by the author. Many of us have rediscovered the pleasures of reading during this pandemic as we turned to books when we had to distance from family and friends. So if you're feeling isolated, I encourage you to read so you are never alone. At the same time, I encourage more Jamaicans to write and publish because it's so important that we tell our stories from our unique perspectives. Our songwriters are lyricists, and many of our musicians are composers, and our visual artists are storytellers. You too can publish books. Make use of the provisions of the Copyright Act and the mechanisms through JIPO, JAMCOPY, JCAP, JAMS, and the National Library of Jamaica to protect and promote your work. And please remember to deposit a copy of your work at the National Library, which is the keeper of the nation's archive of printed and digital publications. I now invite you to enjoy this treat from the National Library, which has assembled authors from across the world to read passages from their works in this special celebration of World Book and Copyright Day.
Message from Ms. Audrey Azoulay, Director General of UNESCO, on the occasion of World Book and Copyright Day, 23rd April 2021. In this period of uncertainty, many people are turning to books to help them escape lockdown and cope with anxiety. Indeed, books have the unique ability both to entertain and to teach. They are a means of exploring realms beyond our personal experience through exposure to different authors, ideas, and cultures. They are a means of accessing the deepest places in our minds. Page by page, books light a path for us to roam unbound by time or borders. In other words, books give us freedom. It is the power of books that we all need right now, as we are reminded of the fundamental importance of literature as well as the arts in our life. In celebrating books, we are also celebrating their authors and provide us with snips of life and insights into other realities. They open a window into the world, more precisely, a window onto other worlds and other forms of existence. And for this reason, every year on 23rd April, the day on which the honorable authors William Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes, and Inca Garcilaso de la Vega passed away, we celebrate writers whose work have been captivating our imagination for centuries. Today, we also pay homage to all the professions associated with books: editing, translation, publishing, and book selling. These fields make it possible to disseminate our heritage to allow for the expressions of new ideas and to enable the spread of stories. These professions must be protected and their value acknowledged. This is all the more relevant in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, which poses a deep and lasting threat to culture. This is why UNESCO is supporting the work of publishers through undertakings such as its partnership with the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, IFLA, and the International Publishers Association, IPA. The power of books must be fully harnessed. We must ensure their access so that everyone can take refuge in reading and by doing so be able to dream, learn, and reflect. This is the significance of the commitment made by Tbilisi, Georgia, which becomes the 2021 World Book Capital on 23rd April. UNESCO designated this city because of its focus on the use of modern technologies to promote reading among young people. Their program, OK, So Your Next Book Is, has worked to transform books into digital games and help ensure access to all. At a time when reading is invaluable, the importance of our commitment to integration, education, and peace in and through reading becomes crystal clear. For this year's edition of World Book and Copyright Day, I therefore encourage each and every one of you to pick up a book, start turning its pages, and draw from it a breath of fresh air, which will help sustain you now and in the future.
Books have been used as a vehicle to pass on knowledge and information, for entertainment and inspiration, and to give people an avenue for self-expression. So, let's dive in.
Hi everyone, my name is Auntie Lajean. Today I'll be reading for you The Adventures of Leo and Zeus, written by Lajean Lee Gordon, illustrations by Camilla Verley. In a little community called Avery in Old Harbor, Jamaica, there lived a little boy named Leo and his dog Zeus. Leo and Zeus were best friends, and they did almost everything together. One sunny morning, Leo decided he wanted to go outside to play in the backyard. "Mommy, can Zeus and I go outside to play?" Leo asked his mother. "Sure, just don't be long. It's almost lunchtime," Leo's mother replied. "Come on, Zeus, let's go to Adventureland. I will be the superhero and you will be my sidekick. Let us defend the world from evil," shouted Leo excitedly, running outside. "Look, do you see that big green, brown, yucky, ugly monster waving his body like he's bad and strong?" Leo asked Zeus, pointing at the tree. "Let us get him! Hiya!" Leo picked up a stick from the ground and started to attack the monstrous tree, while Zeus wildly dug a hole at the root of the tree. "Zeus, he is very strong. Thunder attack now!" Leo screamed and attempted to do a backflip. He fell to the ground and the stick connected with his forehead. "I don't feel so good. He is defeating us," Leo moaned, laying on the ground, gazing at the sky. "Zeus, give me my vegetables so that I can be big and strong. This will allow me to devour him." Leo pretended to eat his vegetables. "Now you are dead meat. Hiya!" stronger now, Leo jumped and kicked the tree. Ha 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 ha. No one defeats Leo and Zeus, especially when we eat our vegetables. We are the defenders of the world. Leo, come inside. Lunch is ready. Leo's mother shouted. Leo replied, come in, mommy. Let's go, Zeus. Fighting this monster made me super hungry. Leo and Zeus ran eagerly back into the house. The end.
A pleasant good day to the whole of you. My name Marsha Wade, the author for one lovely, funny, exciting, entertaining book called Patois Tales. Join me as we go down memory lane in the book Patois Tales. See the illustration. Next, the reading. As much as the lane did full of fruit tree, they never have no mango tree. So mango was a delicacy for the picnic them. This special evening, Dandy Shandy compete with mango time. Cause as Tashimo sight, she watch to see if the dog them are running from off of the road and listen for the sound of the truck as it come up the road. Mr. B promised to bring mango. Mr. B did have one truck that was one orchestra pan wheels. You could have hear the symphony from way down the road. Every time Mr. B draw the brakes or change the gear, every nut and bolt activate. Ching, poke, poke, boom. The nut and bolt them chant as the truck dance pan the road. The dog them was one alarm clock. They know exactly the time Mr. Beefy come. At evening time, them spread out on the sidewalk and tune in to the frequency down the road. When them hear the music, them racing for them agenda was in anticipation of the paw-licking dog food when Mr. B a bring for them. 110! Eve ball out. As she says so, the dog 100-meter dash start. The serenade get closer and closer. Daddy a come! Tashimo shout. Dandy Shandy game come to a full stop. Mr. B bring one crocus bag full of airy mango. Tashimo favorite. He bring enough mango for share for Tashimo and our family for a whole week. Jubilation broke out in the yard. The picnic them where did I play Dandy Shandy run to Mr. Beef in mango. Tashimo on the other hand running at the middle of the lane and shout for the top of our voice. Mango come! The lane rake up, picnic like rice grain gather forget for them share a mango. One by one, Tashimo and Mr. B filled the order. As far as the eye could have seen, a pure yellow tea picnic in the yard. Mango a drip on them clothes and some of them face a wash with mango water. Junie, she licked the mango juice from her elbow straight up to the tip of her finger with one swipe. No dinner, no yam that the night there. Ay, ay, ay. It's such a pleasure to share the story Mango Time with you. What good. Bless you.
Hey everyone, my name is Kerine Muir, and today I'm going to be reading to you from my new book, the Allan Beckford series. The story I'm going to read is super exciting, and it's called Allan and Flag. Jamaica, 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 land we love, sang 6-year-old Allan Beckford as loudly as he could. Every morning, the children in his class sang the national anthem as they looked at the flag on the wall of their classroom. "Very good, class," said Mrs. Henry kindly. "You may sit." Obediently, all the children sat, making noise as they pulled their chairs to their desks. Mrs. Henry covered her ears as she walked to the front of the room, and all the children giggled. They loved Mrs. Henry. She was their summer school teacher, and she always did silly things to make them laugh. Every day, she made a point to hug each student as soon as he or she entered the classroom, and because of her, summer school was even more fun. Now remember, there is no class tomorrow because it is a holiday, Mrs. Henry told them as she pulled a large box from under her desk. Allan sat up tall and stretched his neck to try and see what was in the box. He already knew that tomorrow was a holiday. Jamaica was celebrating Independence Day. There was going to be a big parade in the afternoon. Allan had seen some of the older children preparing. The choir had been practicing all week, and he peeped into the arts and craft room and saw the teacher helping her class to make decorations for one of the floats. He knew it was going to be an exciting day. "Who is going to the parade?" Mrs. Henry asked. Allan raised his hand high in the air. He looked around the room and was pleased to see that almost his entire class would be going. "Good," said Mrs. Henry. "I know you're all excited, and so I have a surprise for you." The children held their breath in anticipation as Mrs. Henry opened the box. With a big smile, she pulled out a small Jamaican flag attached to a smooth piece of wood. "I have a flag for all of you," she shouted proudly. The children clapped their hands and squealed with delight as Mrs. Henry allowed them to come and take a flag out of the box. Allan ran his hand over the smooth stick and shook his brand new flag. It was made from paper, but Allan loved the way the material made the black, green, and gold colors shine. He couldn't wait to get home and show his brothers and sisters. But he wouldn't let them play with it. Oh no, not until after the parade. He would make sure to hide it under his bed where it would be safe. As soon as Allan got home that afternoon, he ran into the kitchen waving his flag. "Look what I got, Mummy," said Allan proudly. "What a lovely flag," said Allan's mummy as she fed his baby sister Lisa. Lisa was a very messy eater and had to be watched carefully or she would get food everywhere. "Can I play with it?" asked his older sister Toya. Toya was 8 years old and normally didn't like to play with Allan's toys. "No, let me," said Kevin, Allan's 10-year-old brother. Kevin was fun to play with, but he could be rough. Allan held the flag close to his chest. He knew he was supposed to share, but he did not want anything to destroy his flag. "Maybe tomorrow," he told them. Quickly, Allan raced to his room before they could ask him any more questions. Once in his room, Allan shut the door and looked for a good hiding place for his flag. He checked under his bed, but it was too dirty. Besides, his puppy Wiggles sometimes slept under there, and he certainly didn't want dog drool on the flag. He opened his sock drawer, but quickly closed it back. The drawer was so full that he was sure it would crush the flag if he tried to stuff it in there. Where else could he hide it? Allan looked around the room and his eyes landed on his pillow. Perfect, he thought. If he hid it under his pillow, he could keep it close to him and no one could touch it without waking him up. He would just have to sleep very carefully. Pleased that this was a good plan, Allan gently placed the flag under his pillow just as his mom opened the door. "Allan, can you watch your sister for a few minutes while I clean up the kitchen?" His mother walked into the room and rolled his baby sister in behind her. Lisa was in her walker and held out her arms and screamed happily when she saw Allan. Allan kneeled and began to play pat a cake with his sister. He tried to be a good big brother and he knew that she loved that game.
Did you see that? That's a good idea. By Amina, Blackwood, Meeks. That's me. This story is about the relationship, the wonderful relationship between a little boy called Johnny and his grandfather. His grandfather had the answers to everything, and when Johnny wanted to find out how the world began, he went to his grandfather. But I'm not reading the entire book for you today, just an excerpt. It all started with Great Spirit. Before a long, long time ago, Great Spirit decided to make mountains. High mountains, low mountains, brown mountains, red mountains, black mountains, green mountains.
but there was only one Blue Mountain. Down the side of Blue Mountain, Great Spirit decided to put some rivers. Slow River, Swift River, Black River, White River, Mango River, Cane River. Cane River was Great Spirit's favorite because of the plan he had that one day it would be a wonderful place for Bob to wash his dreads and cook. However, before Bob came to enjoy Cane River, Great Spirit would sit on its bank every day thinking up other things to create. Marga dog, stray cat, rat bat and Cicero chatty mouth parrot, goat, sense fowl, crapo, crichowl, cow, alligator, a green monkey and mongoose. The mention of mongoose made Johnny laugh. I know mongoose, he said. That's the animal that chases rats out of the cane fields. It's always running across the road without even looking, and most of the time it's alone, except when it is carrying Bedward's chicken in its mouth. And to prove how much he knew, Johnny broke out into song. Mongoose go in a Bedward kitchen, take out one of him righteous chicken, put it in a him waistcoat pocket, sly mongoose.
We hope you've enjoyed our celebration of World Book and Copyright Day 2021. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to the authors who took the time out to share their creations with us. And we hope this will inspire others to make their deposits with the NLJ as well. Let's continue to explore, discover, and connect.